Hey everyone, welcome to the So Far So Good podcast. This is Nisha,
And I'm Ekta.
I'm Aryan.
and today we are going to be talking about the our book club, essentially the book that we read, and just our thoughts on it. Does anybody want to share which book we read?
We
Okay.
read The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. And yeah, so we're gonna just give our thoughts. There's actually some like questions at the end of the book. I don't know if y'all saw some like reading group
What?
questions. So
I didn't see that. I was reading it
um
on my Kindle, so maybe I
yeah,
just.
no, it's on the Kindle. It's at the end of the book. But
Oh,
there's a lot
really?
of like really good questions. I was like, I don't know if y'all have any discussion points you want to do, or we could use these,
Yeah.
which are pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think we could
Um,
definitely dive into that. But first, should we give an overview of what we thought of the book?
Yeah.
Who
That
wants
would
to
be
go
good.
first?
oh, okay, so we're going spoilers off the bat, or no?
Yeah, no, totally. These should be spoilers.
One.
Yeah.
Wait, no, not off the bat. Okay, first I want to say if you have not read this book, please just don't listen to the podcast. This book is too good, in my personal opinion, for you to get spoiled on. Like a lot of books, I'm like, whatever, I'll just listen because I'm probably never going to read it. You don't want I don't know. I just feel like with this book, don't ruin it for yourself.
I wouldn't even
So,
read like the summary, honestly. Like I think you should go into it straight. I mean, okay, like what you need to know, it follows two sisters in World War II,
yeah.
and I think that's all you should go off of and just read.
And you
It's
know,
quite
Yeah.
I
quite good.
typically don't, I don't like reading summaries.
I don't like reading
Me
summaries at
You
either.
all.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like some people, you know how there are bad trailers
Be
where
spoiling
you
half
watch
the
it.
movie, bro.
I know. It's like, what am I
Like,
going to
bro,
go to the
what?
movie theater for? I don't even know what's going to happen.
They
My
spoil like the
favorite
best parts
trailers, yeah,
too.
like my favorite trailers are just like literally, I like my 2 second trailer. I'm like, whoa.
Wait,
You know, they just
when
say one word.
have they ever made a 2 second trailer?
I think they
Like,
have
what are
maybe
you
some.
referencing?
But the thing is, don't get me wrong. I still look to see if it like what other people thought about it in terms of Rotten Tomatoes was the high. So that's what we do. I do with Goodreads too, just high level. You know.
Okay, so I think we should start off, yeah, a non-spoiler section, 2 minutes from each of us. How would we rate the book, and would we recommend? And if we were to recommend, what kind of people would we recommend this book to? And then we'll get on to the spoilers.
All right. Let's keep this part short because a lot of
Yeah,
people can just look up the book, you know. But
yeah,
so I mean, yeah, I mean, I would just say, if you're into any sort of historical fiction, this is definitely a book you probably already read. I feel like anyone that's into historical fiction has probably already read this. But this is a good entry point um, if you haven't read it. Um, there's definitely a lot of parts to this book that are hard to read. I think we would all agree with that. So, it's gonna be
Yeah.
emotionally jarring, probably. There's a lot of, it's pretty graphic too. It's definitely like an adult book.
yeah.
That's for sure. Um,
Well, I didn't think it was like that graphic.
There's
Like there
there
wasn't
should
like
definitely there should be trigger warnings with the book.
it's kind of, you can look up the trigger warnings
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I think
I didn't think it was like chapter by chapter. It was like that. You know,
No,
it
it
was just
wasn't.
like,
No.
yeah,
like I wouldn't give this book to someone like in like middle school or something. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
totally,
heck no.
totally,
it's pretty deep.
yeah. This
But
is
it's
kind like.
yeah, it's really good. The writing style is really good. I think the pacing is really good. Keeps you excited. Keeps you
What would you rate the
entertained.
book?
Out of five.
Are we just saying one, two, three, four, or five, or are we doing like decimal points? Like,
You,
Yeah, point 0.5 is like
yeah,
halfway.
point five
Yeah.
is.
okay, I mean, I'll give it like 4.5. I think. It's not my favorite genre ever. Like I think that's the main thing. It's like personal, you know. I thought it's really good for historical fiction, but like sometimes, reading historical fiction, I can get bored sometimes. Sometimes it's not as exciting as like I want a book to be, stuff like that. But I thought it was really good. I don't really have many complaints. So
Okay. Didi, what do you think?
Yeah.
Your rating
I would
is in
actually, I would recommend this to everyone. I feel like this wasn't, it's not like a chick lit, you know, it was like a pretty solid book. And it was from a perspective of the French. during World War II, which I haven't really ever thought about. You know, we always see the Jewish perspectives, and then I didn't know I didn't know how the French were affected. So this was very interesting to look at, and especially having gone to Paris last year, that was like, it made the visuals even more like, oh my God, I can't imagine Paris was like that. You know, I was there and really like, you know, so I thought that was super interesting. And yeah, I think everyone should give this book a shot. And it was such an easy read. There was not a lot of big words here or there or complicated names. And it was just such an easy read, but then it left a major impact, you know? And I think, did anybody here get the physical book? Because isn't it like pretty thick?
It's a long book. It's like 500 pages, right?
Which is crazy because I was reading it on the Kindle and I finished it in 2 days or something. So I would definitely say, get ready to avoid doing chores or wanting to go out because this book is just super good.
Yeah. So did you say your ranking for the book?
Did not. I would, I would give it a 4.5 as well, just because 5 is just really scary to give out. So I'm just going to give it a 4.5, which is really high because there's a lot of books that I don't even get close to 4 or 4.5. So 4 is already pretty amazing.
Bro, this is a 5 out of 5 book for me. Like, I didn't even question it. The writing is so good in this book. Like, I feel like it's been a while since
It is really good.
I've read
Really good.
something from an author where like I immediately fell in love with the writing to a point where I was like, I'm gonna read all of her books because immediately this is what I'm looking for. Secondly, this book is a historical fiction, which a lot of people maybe, you know, are a little bit
I
scared
stay
of.
away from that actually. So I don't know. I stay away from that.
Yeah.
And that's why when Aryan said, and there are 2 things I stay away from and I loved it. So historical fiction, just because I'm like, it's a high chance it's going to be boring. Yeah. Right. And then Aryan said it's written in 2 perspectives. And I'm like, that's complicated. Like,
Dude,
you know, I like the easiest.
I chose this book because I thought y'all would read historical fiction. That's why. Okay, I guess not.
Yeah, but I get it. A lot of people will maybe stay away from historical fiction because they think it could get a little bit boring. Like maybe a little bit too educational to where like you feel like
I think
you're reading a textbook.
boring / like depressing too, you know.
Facts.
Yeah. You're not going to write about like the happiest time in history.
Yeah.
Never.
You know?
Nobody writes
No
about
one's
that.
gonna do
right?
that.
Nobody
Yeah.
writes about that.
And do y'all remember I literally said like oh my God, get ready. I'm going to be so depressed. Like I'm actually afraid to read this book. And it just like, if you are interested at all in reading anything historical fiction, pick up this book because I think I told you guys, I woke up on a Saturday one day, 8 a.m. I was on chapter 4 of this book. And I just wanted to read a little bit before I got up. I spent the entire day from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. reading this book and I finished it. Like, it's a book that you just do not want to put down. Like, even if it's hard to, you know, there's some hard concepts in this book, you know, a little bit harder to get through. It's just not something I wanted to put down at all. So, yeah, I think everyone should read this book.
I think that settles it. Go read the book, bro. Just read it.
I know
it's long. Just read it, bro. It's good.
I'm just waiting for like our next book club read where we're like, we all hated the book.
I know. Our first.
That would be interesting, though. That would be interesting.
Yeah. So get out of here if you haven't read the book. How do we want to start the non-spoilery section?
Well, I mean, that's it. Like, hey,
I mean, the spoilery section.
No, that's it. Now we begin the spoiler section.
That's what I'm saying.
It just, if you haven't read the book and you want to read the book, go read the book and then come back. But here we go.
I mean, there's a pretty, like, I think we could start off with like the 2 main characters, and there's like an interesting question right here.
Should we do which character was our favorite?
We could do. All right, let's say out of the 2, who was our favorite first?
Like who's okay?
So yeah,
It's hard.
Who is?
It's hard though.
I think this is pretty hard. Yeah.
The one that was most interesting for me to read was Vion's, her perspective.
Wow.
You thought hers was more interesting?
Yeah, I feel like Isabel had the most exciting life.
Yeah, okay,
But
yeah.
Vian also just how she was affected. Like it was a roller coaster versus Isabel's was always a roller coaster, you know? There was always something going on. But she had the most exciting stuff. But Vian's was, I felt like, most like compelling and interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Personally.
That's interesting because I loved, like, Isabel is who I wish I was. You know what I mean? Like the bravery. I feel like Vian is how I would have handled the situation.
Same, yeah.
And by the situation, I mean, you know, World War II, Germany taking over France, losing all your liberties. I think I would be Vian in terms of like, I would want to be taking care of my family, making sure we're safe, because I would be too afraid to do anything that could potentially hurt me or my family. But Isabel that's why I loved her character, because even though it's historical fiction, she almost seemed like a fictional character by how like brave she was. Like honestly, she made the book so interesting because every time we cut to her, she was doing something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much same for me. I mean, like, I feel like Isabel, I had like so much respect for her because she's so brave and she's like, she has so much courage to do these things that are so extremely dangerous. But there's also so many points where I'm like, this is such a bad decision. Like, don't do this. Like, so there's a lot of times where I'm like, this is like you're screwing over people that you love by doing this, you know?
Wait, when did she screw over someone?
Oh, are we going to talk about specific
I mean, her
times?
sister.
Yeah, of course.
Her sister Vian, like hiding the hostages at her
I was
house.
reading that part and I got so angry. I was like, this is so dumb in so many ways. It's so stupid in so many ways.
And also just like the impact on Sophie. I just felt like Isabel, like
but I like that
she didn't really care too much. But yeah, like she wasn't like the perfect character.
Because Isabel is so enraptured by her need to do something for the war that she forgets the people around her are counting on her to not make these mistakes. Because like it's not just her life that she is like sacrificing by doing these things. It's like her family's lives as well, you know? So it shows how focused she is. But at the same time, it shows like, you know, it's like, it's not all positives that come with that.
Say that, you know, people, like, she was doing it for the greater good, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I feel. Like,
but that's why it's a gray area, you know? It's like...
Yeah, because does that discount how she was?
Does that discount that she's literally putting, like, Sophie's life in, like, very major risk and Vianne's life? It's like, you know, is that the right thing to do?
But that's
at the end of the day?
That's what you have to do in war sometimes.
Yeah, but in that particular moment,
actors acting like she's
that guy
been in
that
war.
was definitely about to die, was that worth definitely risking? It was a bad decision, right? And I think she admitted it too. Like at the end, she was like, "Why did I do this? This was so stupid," you know. So I think we all relate to Vianne a lot more. I mean, dude, I felt so bad for Vianne the whole book.
Bro, Vianne,
I was like,
I feel
she's
like she
getting
got
so
the worst
screwed,
end
bro.
of the stick, man. She is getting the worst end of the stick. I feel like the only thing she ever did wrong in her life was just like, I guess, not be nicer to her sister. You know,
she made all the decisions I would have made. I feel like even the ones where it ended up messing up in the end. I was like, can you blame her? You know, it's like, you know, when she like put down.
And listen, Vianne also stepped up at the end, like how she started becoming more brave.
Yeah, she did.
Where she was like
character development.
Bro, she lost her best friend. Her husband was gone for years. A bunch of random men stayed over at her house. She had to protect. I was like. I was shocked that Vianne was alive at the end. Like,
it was interesting.
Because at least Isabel could hide. Vianne could not hide. That was crazy to me. That was crazy.
And what did y'all think when she wrote down the list for?
And she put Rachel's name down too.
Not just Rachel's, but
everybody's.
Like, you know, that was kind of a moment where it was like, what did y'all think about it? Because I was shocked that she did it so easily, but I
think she was completely in denial. I think for the longest time, I feel like she was in denial, like, you're crazy, nothing bad's gonna happen to us. So she was just going along.
But it's like, at the end of the day, what is she supposed to do? It's like, they already know these people are Jewish, you know?
That's sure true.
And if she purposely leaves a name off the list, they're sending her straight to the concentration camp, like. Like no
when
questions
I
asked.
read it, it seemed like she didn't have to give him any names, but maybe she did.
No. He was like he wasn't forcing her to, but he was saying
But it
like
was like a
we
clear.
know we will know if you leave a name off the list. You know.
No, but like she could have also been like, "Hey, I don't want to do the list."
No,
You know?
that's
But
the thing.
She did it.
But
Why?
he's literally telling her without telling her like if you don't help us with the list, like there will be major consequences. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you guys think she knew about the consequences when she was
He
doing
made it, I
that?
thought he made it very clear.
No, I thought it wasn't that clear. I think she was just like, sure, I'll write down who are the Jews. Because she was thinking everybody already knows. So, okay, let me write it down.
I think a part of her knew that this would lead to something negative, but again, she was just in denial, and maybe she just did it out of fear. Yeah.
I mean, I
Again,
think she
it was
did out
always
of
her
fear,
daughter,
but like,
too.
But
Yeah.
she also knew that like they know these people are Jewish
Exactly.
already.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I get it. I get
Like
it.
these things will come back to her. Like, what's the most logical thing to do? I feel the most logical thing to do was put the name down anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would we have done if we go through like the steps in our head about the future? Is not putting a name down really worth like me being shipped off to a concentration camp? You know?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be shipped off anyways. You know?
But then there's the whole thing. Do you help in the effort? Like, because there are two people. Like, I think this book was perfect because it showed the two types of people that were in the situation in France. Some people.
Yeah, because I
that
feel
were-
like, listen, would Isabel have written it down? I don't think
No,
so.
she wouldn't have.
She would have been like, kill me if you must. I'm not going to
At the
write
end
it
of the
down.
day, you do have a choice, but one choice is obviously a lot riskier. And I know we are very safe people, and in this situation, we would have been, taking care of ourselves. But I'm so grateful for people that are willing to like fight the fight. And
Yeah, I mean, of course. But like at the end of the day, like Isabel can go run.
You can't
and
really
hide
blame
and go
people.
to Paris and then go to any place she wants. But Vienne has to stay with her kid. She can't go and run away with her kid too. You know, it's like for her, this is honestly the brave thing to do. Even though she doesn't want to put the name down for the protection of her family, she will put the name down. You know, that's how I saw it. Like this to me, and it was still like there were no good options. You know.
yeah.
Either way, like they were screwed because they ended up shipping off all the Jews anyways. You know.
Guys,
Yeah, they would have done it anyway.
Right.
I'm totally like with that. Someone would have given the names.
that was one of the saddest points in the book when Rachel and her daughter.
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, that's
That
When?
it was
Pretty
like
bad.
they were going to escape, and I was like, but that guy had told them right that that's a safe route, and then Rachel goes and her daughter. Oh man, that was so heartbreaking. Where like
That-
Vian now just has like she takes care of she buried. Oh yo, I think like some of the most symbolic moments in the book was actually that analogy of it wasn't an analogy, but the tree. And how
Yeah.
she would wrap a thread on all the people that have that she has lost,
Yeah.
and how she did that for her best friend's dog. Oh,
Guys, Sarah's
that
dead,
screamed the sadness
which
back.
was Rachel's daughter. Like, how old was she? Like,
I think around
8? Like,
Sophie's age, right? That was so
yeah.
sad, dude. You
her
guys.
being shot. I think that was the moment that it hit me how dark things were during this war. Like no one's safe. Children are not safe. And oh my god, that was the first moment I definitely cried. I was like, this is I didn't know we were gonna go there, but
that was so hard.
Oh, this is an interesting question I just read. All right. So take a moment to talk about Beck. Is he a sympathetic character? Did you believe he was a good man, or was he just trying to seduce Vianne? Did he deserve his fate? So what'd y'all think about Beck?
Yeah, hated him. Sorry. He was just first of all the infidelity kind of thing, like I didn't like that. I felt like we were supposed to kind of see him as like this morally gray character. Like he's not all bad. Like this was a character that was supposed to portray maybe like sympathies towards the Germans, right? Because maybe those soldiers didn't even want to be here in the first place. But as a character, fictional character in the book, I didn't like him. I thought he was fake.
Yeah,
I
think
didn't trust him at all like the whole time.
yeah, same.
You didn't trust him at all.
Especially after that Rachel and Sophie situation, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did he knew that was gonna happen, or because he was the one that told her? I think I
He
did
didn't
not.
know. He didn't know that was gonna happen.
Like there were moments like try to make that guy more like
And
human,
the thing
but
is, like what I was gonna say is like he did help in as much as he could. Like he told them go hide in the cellar and like don't be here when they get back. And for some reason they just left the cellar. I don't know what they were doing, but
I don't understand.
all right, we're not gonna talk about that. But
no, but
like-
I think go ahead.
Wait, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, remember how like at the end it came down to he was starting to get in trouble, and at that point he was ready to throw anybody under the bus to save himself. That's why he went in the cellar and he was like, I'm just gonna shoot everybody. Like, like if he's here, like there's no understanding, nothing. He was scared because there was this, who was it, like an American that's like pilot that has
American
fallen.
pilot, yeah.
He was like, oh my God, they're scaring me. They're coming after me. I need to find him. And he was ready to kill anybody to get that because he was trying to save his own life. So I think he is a coward. I think.
Okay, hold on.
I'm allowed to have that opinion.
He's a coward because he's trying to save his own life, but Vianne is doing the same thing, right? Like saving her own life instead of worrying about other people.
No, here's the thing. No, but I think
forced into that situation.
But Vianne had her daughter, and also she totally redeemed herself near the end, where she started becoming more brave, and she saved so many Jewish orphans' lives.
I'm not calling Vianne a coward, but I'm not calling this guy a coward. Like he was in a situation where he had no choice. Like,
no, but then he also had a whip in his hand at the square, where he was like hitting
that's what
people.
I'm saying. He's totally untrustworthy. I'm saying
no.
he's not
Also,
a coward
but I feel like he could
find
still do something to And then wasn't there a moment where she goes to his office and he has so much food behind him and everything?
Yeah,
I think like he's seeing so much suffering, but he is the oppressor. He's the oppressor.
Yeah, like he was too focused on being like the perfect soldier. So that's what's interesting about him. You know,
didn't care about
his like
human
good
lives.
side is at odds with the fact that he's a soldier and he has orders and he doesn't want to be disloyal. You know, so he's doing his best to do both at the same time. You know, like help Vienna out as much as he can without betraying like his country. You know, it's I think that's like definitely interesting to read. But also like the infidelity thing, I think it was coming from like both sides. You know, I think there was like definitely like a mutual attraction between them, but they both pulled back. You know, so they never did anything. But it's like, that's like natural things to happen,
especially because her husband was gone for so long, and he's nice. She's seeing kindness. No, I don't know. I feel like he wasn't that good of a person. I just don't think so. I think there was maybe a little bit of humanity just because he got to know these people.
I think he's not a good person because, he sees all these atrocities happening, but he's still staying on that side, That makes him like... But I think as, like, the way he treats Vianne is... Like, I didn't see any problem with it, honestly.
No, there wasn't
he helps them out. He helps them out whenever he can. He's respectful.
But you guys, I think he would have totally gotten them killed and everything if a soldier was found in their house. I don't think he would have protected them.
For sure.
I feel like there was a limit to that.
At the end, he chooses, like, Germany, He chooses, like, his country over, like, these people that he doesn't really know, These French people who he's at war with, So, it's...
Guys, were y'all shocked when Vianne pulled out the shovel and just killed him?
Dude, I was like, let's go.
No, that was like,
let's go.
Moment.
I was like, dang, I wish she didn't do that. But I was like, it's fine. I totally get it.
Let's go.
No, I know, because he shot at her too. He shot at her. So I was like, I get it. She did what she had to do for her family. And also, like, this guy is like, literally, like, he would have killed her family. Yeah. So I see it.
I think that was one of the best moments in the book. That was fire. Because they didn't even know who killed him too.
Yeah, it was like the best moment and then the worst moment because then the terrifying other German came over, so that wasn't fun.
I know.
But guys, something I did not understand was I feel like the book did not. I kind of had an issue with this with the book. It did not go into why Isabel was so nationalist. I wish I had gotten like an insight into what made some people be so much for their country. You know what I mean?
I think it's kind of obvious. She grew up in France, and then all of a sudden, all of her liberty was taken away. All her people are being taken over by Germans. I think in that moment, I totally understand the nationalism. Like everyone I know, my family, my culture, my childhood, it's all being taken away by someone else, by a communist. Well, not a communist.
But I just felt like I understand if it's to protect your family. But from Isabel's perspective, it didn't really come across that much that she was trying to protect her family. It was more of the country, which I did not understand.
No. I think that's the thing. I think one of the main parts about Isabel is how alone she feels, you know? She feels like her dad doesn't want her. She feels like her sister doesn't want her. So she wants to feel needed by someone. She wants to feel important, you know? So she wants to feel like she has something like that is important about her that can be used like in this like greater like war that's happening, you know? She wants to feel like her life matters, you know, that she's doing something, you know? Because she's gone back to her dad multiple times and like he basically hates her and doesn't want her to be around. And then her sister is like, oh, never come back here, you know? So I feel like there's like a void left inside her that's filled by like, okay, let me do something for my country at least, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of see, you know? It's like a lot of like her perspective in this book was her journey to becoming like having a sense of belonging, you know?
Yeah.
Like feeling that she's needed somewhere, that she's making an impact somewhere because she never got that from her family, you know?
Yeah, so I just feel like how much of it was really a sense of nationalism or how much of it was her sense of, I want to do something. You know, like I want to feel important myself. Yeah. I'm always like, you know, I haven't felt needed here, but like she wanted an excitement in life.
You know, she always goes back to that. She was like, oh, my sister never wanted me, you know, my father always pushed me away, you know.
She wanted to have a purpose.
Yeah. And then the next scene, you know, she's helping with the resistance, you know. She feels like she's doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so pretty interesting. Yo, we were all praying for Antoine's return, right?
Oh, I was so praying for Antoine's return. Oh my God.
And then oh my God. And I think they made it really beautiful. Like near the end, how she was just like, she just felt like she needed to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I think with her daughter. And then like she sees him like walking. I was like, oh my God.
Antoine is the perfect husband character from the beginning of the book till the end of the book. Like absolutely just perfect. So yeah, loved
and
him.
like how he was still understanding of her, you know, after everything. It was really sad how like, you know, like clearly like how war impacts people, right? Not just the people fighting, but the people back at home. Because like when they reunited, there was still such a huge hole. Like all of a sudden they were changed. It wasn't the same way again. That was tough for me. I was like, just go back to the way y'all used to be. But it's not.
I think that's what like the best part of this book is, honestly. It's like it talks about the war and like the horrors of war and how terrible it is, but it doesn't even have any of the fighting, you know? Like this is without all the fighting, this is how horrible and vicious and cruel it was. That's good. It just describes how terrible it is, you know?
Yeah. For the common people, the people that weren't even at war.
Yeah.
I had never gotten that perspective. I had never thought about the French common people perspective that weren't at war, and I didn't realize how much their lives had changed. They're also fighting just to survive. They didn't have enough food.
Right, to be alive before their significant other comes home, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, those descriptions of how she's like tearing down the shower curtain to make clothes for herself, and like
oh my God,
they're like cutting up like random pieces of like furniture and stuff so they can like have like something warm to sleep on. I'm like, bro, like she's in the trenches, bro.
Her not eating food so her daughter has enough food.
That's real, bro.
Of course. One of the parts about the book was also like there was a huge family aspect to the book, but I loved Vianne's relationship with her daughter, and just like it just showed a mother, you know, like the sacrifice that a mother will make for
the face that she will put on for her child.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was beautiful, like too.
It's like, like we talk about Isabel being brave, but I feel like Vienna was very brave at times too. Like she defended that was it the teacher She was like, oh,
Yeah,
and she didn't even
got
say
in the
anything.
way.
All she was like, oh, what's happening? And she was like, okay,
Oh,
you're
and she
fired.
lost
Like,
her
bro,
job.
what?
Oh my
Or like the
God.
whole like the orphanage thing, and I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I was like, I don't know
Dude,
how
she
Beyond
tries to
did
be
any
brave,
of that,
but like
dude.
she is completely powerless. There's nothing that she can do,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
it's like you can't blame her for just prioritizing her
I
family, you
don't
know,
blame
above
her.
all else, you know.
Yeah,
It's rough.
especially if you have a little kid. I think Isabel is 19 years old. There's no one like really tied to her. She is a lot more free to do what she wants. You know,
Yeah.
she knows she's like basically risking her life and her life only. But Vianne, yeah, she's definitely way more tied down. I think, and that's probably true. Like during the war, I think people like mothers were a lot more careful. They can't just risk their lives. So I think
Because at
that's
the end of the day, it's like, is it gonna be my country or is it gonna be my literal like daughter? Like obviously, everyone's gonna make the same choice, you know? It's like,
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
there were so many times in the book where like she would be like, "Oh, this many months has passed by. It's winter." I was like, "Dude, I'll be dead by now. I would be dead."
sure.
You know, like the fact that there's not enough clothing to stay warm. There's when you're in line for hours to get food and there's barely any food, and having to go to the town and with all the guns and the Germans there. I'm like, I was like, is this like, if this was real life, would she have been alive? I don't know. You
dude,
know?
the descriptions of like the concentration camps and how they were being
Oh
pulled
my
into
God.
them and they were in like those like cattle carts and stuff. Like
Oh,
those are
yeah.
hard to read, bro. That was like,
Oh,
my
dude.
God,
And then
it
there was
bad.
like what? Like there was like one poop bucket. I was like, oh, God.
It makes it 10 times worse that this actually happened to people, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you're just reading any book, it's like you can like read like vicious things that are happening, but it's just fantasy. But this is real life. Like this really happened. Like that's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I think oh my gosh, and everyone was saying this is the part about the book. The war is ending. Like they're trying to say, "Oh, the war is ended. We're all good." And that's when it got the worst. And like the book like got way harder to read near the end. Did y'all feel that when they were in the concentration camps when the war was ending basically? Oh my God, yeah. Those
Oh
scenes
my gosh.
was
See, a
absolutely
concentration camp, I
brutal.
wouldn't have survived that. Like that's like,
Of course.
oh my God, like
No.
that is crazy. Like how just if you even look like you're sick, they throw you into like the freaking cremation room or something like that. I'm
They
like,
work
oh my
you to
God,
death.
dude. Like
It's actually
oh my
crazy.
God.
Like they just treat you like worse than animals at that point. Like here's animals that are being used for labor. It's like it's crazy.
Guys, okay. Does this I feel like everyone needs to educate themselves about the Holocaust. Just I feel like every couple of years I get back into it somehow, and it's the horrors of that I'm reminded, and it just reminds me that like I just feel like human history has gone through so much crap. We cannot, we get so comfortable thinking that can never happen to us. And I was thinking about how like in the book with Vian, the way it starts in the beginning, so idyllic. It's
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
just think
They go on a
life is
picnic
great.
and stuff. Yeah.
Life, she's like, I am so happy. Life is great. You can't imagine the worst ever coming to you. And then it happens. So it's just like, it's crazy, dude.
Guys,
It's crazy.
the way they were living in France is like how we're living now before the war. Like
This was not that
complete
long ago,
independence.
you know?
Yeah, it wasn't
That's
even that long
another
ago.
thing that freaks
Mid
me
20th
out.
century was not that long ago. Yet we
think
still
that-
let 6 million Jews die like in camps. Like, is that like
Crazy.
our minds can't even process that number?
Guys, I
Just
kind
in
of
the
feel-
camps,
yeah.
6 million.
I feel like you're kind of out on your own. If there's another war or whatever, humanity is on their own. You got to protect yourself. It's crazy. I don't know how we'd ever, I don't know.
It kind of made me upset. Like I wish the world would have helped and stepped in earlier. That's what this book made me like think. But I understand there are reasons why you can't, blah blah blah. But like but I felt anger that nothing was being done, and this war lasted years. What, 6 years? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I think like if everyone,
It's
steps
hard to like
in
make
and
judgments
pulls
on that
together-
stuff without being completely educated on what's happening. Because if in reality, it took a whole atomic bomb to be dropped for the war to end,
Yeah.
Like the only atomic bomb that's ever been dropped. So it's like, this wasn't a war that was like one side was immediately way better than the other. You know, it's like a
Yeah, like
Just-
I
Oh my
understand not
gosh,
wanting
the
to
atomic
send
bomb too, and the oh my god, that's so like I don't even want to get
dude. There was
crazy.
so there's this one
It's haunting reading the stories of that.
Yeah.
there was this one interesting part of the book. Like I was like kind of surprised when this happened. So okay, so discuss the scene in which Ari is taken away. What do you believe is the right answer in the situation, if there is one? What would you have done in Vianne's position? What'd y'all think about that part?
Guys, that was another.
That
moment
came out of nowhere, bro.
I cried, dude. I cried.
That
so
was like
much.
another
That's
hurt for
crazy.
Vianne, man. Like, what is going
I know she
on,
just gets
dude?
hoed every page, bro. I'm like, jeez.
So I had this big fear, like, what if these guys are not legit? You know, like, what if like they're just? But we're taking it as this is legit. The kid has to go away.
Yeah.
I think it was. I
don't
think
know,
it was
man.
a risk,
I don't know.
but it was a good risk for the child because he ended up going to the U.S. studying, and then they got reunited.
I think.
Okay, fine. I'm 50-50. All
I
right.
don't know, dude.
Fully understanding, bro. When that happened, I was like, absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Vianne raised this kid.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
the kid doesn't want to go. But Ariane, I think it's about a greater theme. It's like so many Jews were killed during World War II, and so
For the
I think-
purpose of their community and bringing
Like
right, like he needs to
reforming
be
this whole
raised.
ethnic group.
Right, like
Yeah,
his
I know.
family
I get
died
it.
for being a Jewish. You know, it's like
But-
you need to know about your culture. I don't know, man.
But it kind of made me sad, like we had to sacrifice, like basically he had no choice, you know. in
Yeah,
the
but then he was
matter.
a baby, and it seemed like he ended up being fine.
I don't
Also,
know,
like,
bro. I think that's traumatizing.
Rachel-
That's my family.
I feel like as long as she visits him like once a year, well, it's
No,
not
but
gonna be
that
possible.
they
No,
said that
they
can't
you
happen.
Can't visit.
Like you can't have any contact with them. But like the thing is, like
I didn't like it.
you know, like Rachel entrusted her
Yeah.
with Vianne. I'm like, isn't that up to Rachel? You know, if she entrusted her with this person, then he should stay with this person. You know, I don't know.
That
I
is
mean, like,
true. Like, what did his mother want? That's really important.
Yeah, well, mother's not.
it was
alive.
weird how it happened. I didn't like it. I think
Yeah.
they had no right to do that.
I think it was a really
I didn't
big.
know I would be. So
I don't know. I
attached-
mean, that's whatever.
I didn't know I'd be so attached to Ari as well. And near the end, I was like, you cannot break apart this family. They've been through so.
Dude, it happened so fast. They came and just took him in like 10 seconds. I was like, what the heck?
Oh my god, the pain.
Yeah, that is true because like basically, Vianne is his mom now, and but like it's for the culture. Like, do you do it for the culture? But like
I don't
you
know,
can
like-
still educate them, you know, on what how to.
I feel like in Vianne's position, I need to meet whoever this person is that's going to take away my son. And I need to make sure that she's like capable and ready to be able to take care of my son. Like, what? Like, come on.
Especially because this is the last living child of.
It's like, I kept him alive, bro. Like, what the heck?
Dude,
Okay.
bro.
What did y'all think of Gate's character? Gaetan, Gate, however you say.
I think he
his
was
name.
fine. I think he was just like another like, you know, rebel. So, but
Maybe-
like in a good way. I mean, I didn't hate him.
I think he was there kind of more to provide something for Isabel's character. I didn't really see much
Some
in him
heart for
by
Isabel's
itself.
character.
I didn't
Yeah.
have a super huge connection.
He was
with
a
him.
side character.
I mean,
He was a side character.
I respected his hustle. He's like, I need to go fight. You know, like I'm not doing enough. I respect that. You know, like let's
Yeah.
go. But it's like, dude, I don't really care. Like,
Yeah, no, they didn't give enough background information on him, but I did love reading about him. So
Yeah, every time I saw him, I was like, Gaten, you know.
I know it was just like, oh my god, something.
That was funny how he just kept popping up in random parts. Oh my god! But the ending was the saddest. I was like, "Are you kidding me?
jeez.
They are
Pretty
finally together, but she is dying."
Guys,
Like what?
But in a way, it was beautiful, though. You know,
it
how
was
happened.
because all she's ever wanted was people to love her and care for her.
Yeah.
And at the end, she was with everyone that loved her, and at near the end, everyone proved how much they cared. Like,
Wait,
oh my
guys,
God,
what
her
happened to
father
her?
Sacrificing himself.
Yeah, I was like,
that
that
is
man
something
had
she
to
could
do
do,
that
bro.
part to get some redemption, low key. But
I was like, this is the least.
wait, guys, I forget what happened to Isabel at the end. She had cancer. What happened?
she got
She
some
got
sort of
shot?
a
Oh, like she had like tuberculosis. She got something from the camp, something like that, from malnutrition. But that's the point, though. Like, she survived the camp, though. You know, she stayed alive to come
That
back
is
and meet her
insane.
family and meet. So it was a win for her. I feel like, you know, that was a good way to close out her character to me. You know,
You guys,
Arian, so depressing, dude.
so depressing.
so depressed. I was I had to read that part again. I was like, wait, what just happened?
And she helped them win the war. You know, she was pivotal in the war.
She did.
She like fulfilled her purpose that she made like in her life. You know, so I thought she had a really good character arc.
Yeah, no, she
The
did.
tough
And how she
part
continued to get recognized, I thought that was sweet.
The Nightingale, bro.
Yeah.
The Nightingale.
She was such a vibrant character at the beginning of the book. The chapter she was introduced, I was so happy. I was so excited because I thought she was so funny and like had
She
so
was.
much energy. And then by the end of the book, the way the war changed her, I think that was
She was like
so
broken.
sad to read about.
There's like some
That was
quote
so
like her dad gave her, or she was like, "Oh, I'm ready to fight," and he's like, "Oh, you'll soon see like what war like truly is," you know.
yeah, and
It's like-
she truly
Yeah.
didn't believe it. You
But
know?
she didn't like give in to the when she was being tortured. I was like, "Bro, let's go," you know. She's like, "I know nothing of birds." I was like, "Let's go."
Oh
You
my
guys,
God,
her
she's such a beast.
fight to
What a
live,
beast, bro.
her fight to live at concentration camp, especially. Did you guys like?
Yeah.
She was like, I just gotta keep moving, get up, like keep going. I was
Dude.
like, I feel like you almost need that to survive,
She
right?
went
Because
from
you can
being-
give up on yourself and you die.
She
But
went from being
kept.
like nearly tortured to death immediately to the concentration camp. Like she is so tough. Like that's crazy.
That's
It's
when
crazy.
you think it couldn't get
She's
worse.
literally about to die, and then they
It
ship her to the
worse.
concentration camp. Like what?
All right, guys.
That's crazy.
Last thing, since we're like way
Okay,
over
like,
time,
last
would you
question.
like to see? Oh no, we don't have time.
Oh, I feel like we want to talk
All
about
right, go
this.
ahead.
let's
Go
talk
ahead. What
It's
is
a
it?
quick one. All right.
Okay.
Do you think Julian had a right to know who his real father was? Would you have made the same decision Vianne did? What do you think? What do y'all think?
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
this too. You think he had a right to know? Because she didn't tell him.
Absolutely. Oh, wait, no. No, because what's the point? Like, because he
What's
would just
the
grow to hate
point,
his,
bro?
he would just have hatred for his dad. Like,
Yeah.
this is like one of those situations where it's like, do you, like, will it add good or will it add bad? Like, would it just make him feel so bad for being alive? I don't know. I would
think I
say, you know
agree,
what?
yeah.
Low
I
key,
agree.
I'd be like, skip it. That you're not. Like
doesn't
that
need
was
to
never
know
his
that.
real dad. That wasn't ever. That's just like
Yeah,
that's.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
who your real dad is matters the most. And if that person was a really great person, then fine.
This
Real
guy
dad,
wasn't
as in
even
who
there,
raised
bro.
you. I don't think it
Yeah.
matters.
His real dad was nowhere around. Doesn't know, like, never knew he existed.
There's
No.
only bad
Absolutely
stuff from that.
unnecessary.
So
So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I feel like, listen, every situation is different, right? This is a case where it'd be like, we don't talk about him. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing good that'll come out of this. Okay, so last thing. Do you guys want this book to be made into a movie?
Bro, I looked it up right away. I was like, I want this movie today.
I feel like they're just gonna screw it up unless they make
I
it
don't
amazing.
care.
I think
Look
it
at
could be
so
a
great.
good like I don't know about a movie, but maybe like a show or something. I don't know.
What?
What? A show would not do. It's
No,
gotta
but like
be-
I think a big part
'Cause
about
there's
this
a-
book is like you see what they're going through like every single day. Like a lot of Vianne's day, she's just doing regular stuff that are very difficult. You know, so it's like I think that was the effect that I had from the book. You know, it's like they don't skip past anything. They don't like speed through anything. It's
But
like,
it's this book.
it's grueling.
Not like in the next episode, see what happens. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
it could be a good way to. I can see it
no,
if
maybe
it's
not like
done
a long
really
show.
well.
Maybe like a mini series. You know, like a Netflix like
Yeah,
mini series or something, like 5 episodes or something.
just really well done.
something like that. Yeah. I don't
Okay, last thing. It's a quick one, I promise. Did y'all know who the old lady character was? in
Dude, I did not
chapter
know,
one,
bro.
Like, I knew it was gonna be Vianne or Isabel, but
Dude, I thought it was
the whole
Isabel.
time-
Because
I did
they
not
said,
know it
oh,
was Vianne.
I thought it was Isabel too. I was like, what's going on?
Bro,
We
and
all
then
thought
Isabel
it was-
dies, and I'm like, what
What?
is going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love
All right,
the book.
guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, we'll share what is the next book that we're going to read. Again, this was supposed to be a quarterly book club, but I think it's just going to be at the pace at which we finish the book.
Yeah, we'll tell y'all when we're going to record the episode.
But anyways, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.